Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while, so I hope everybody's doing well. So today, I just wanted to talk about capitalism and preventative maintenance and how they correlate. So, in most people's minds, it pays to have preventative maintenance done either to their homes, to their bodies, to their cars. Like say your transmission on your car was going bad, and the maintenance guy, the technician, was like, yeah, you know what? I can give it a quick restore, but odds are it's probably going to go out in the next couple thousand miles, and it's going to be a really big bill to repair it, but it's also going to be an even bigger bill to just completely get a new one. So I would advise you to just get a new one. Most people would just go ahead and say, you know what? Let's just go ahead and swallow that 2,000 whatever dollar bill amount that we need and just get a new one because I don't want this thing to go out on me when I'm on the road. So that same concept could be applied to most preventative maintenance things in America. Let's take, for instance, the infrastructure. We have plenty of bridges, roads, pipes, you name it. It's degrading. It's been in place for decades, and it's almost to the point that it's just going to be a matter of days or months before these things start to fail on a massive scale. So why not just go ahead, and I know it's a intimidating number to see how much it will cost to actually restore our infrastructure to the point of being stable for a multitude of years. But I think it's worth it for people in the long run, instead of gradually repairing each and every little bit of road whenever they get the budgetary funds, whatever it might be. Why not just go ahead and take a lump sum out? It's going to be expensive up front, but in the long run, I think we all can agree that it's going to be beneficial both to the taxpayers and also the people that need to do the jobs. So with that being said, let's take a look at the coronavirus and how preventative maintenance could have stopped us from having trillions of dollars of what needed to be relief funds in the end from being passed. Think about how if we would have just simply stored enough masks, PPE, tests, swabs in warehouses around this country in strategic places with a high population density. If we would have had enough PPE and supplies already ready to go, I don't think that this would have been nearly as bad. And yes, we can all point the finger at Trump and his administration and how they failed to actually get this thing under control as soon as possible. They could have. I know that. I think we all know that. But we're past that point at this time. Now I think is a good time to reflect on not just what an individual or just a handful of people could do, but what an entire government could have done in order to prevent something like this from happening in the future. So if you don't know him already, I would strongly advise anybody watching this video to look up Richard Wolff. He is a very good economist, and if you are biased and you don't care for Marxism, I doubt you're watching this video to begin with, but if you don't like that stuff, I'd still strongly suggest looking up Richard Wolff. He's a very good economist, and he's very well read. I think if I were to get into office in some shape or fashion, I would definitely want him on my side. He's a very brilliant person. But look up what he has to say about the coronavirus, and I think you'll find it to be pretty much parallel with each other, both mine and his visions of what should have happened. But yeah, at the very core of all of this preventative maintenance, it's the problem of we don't value or we don't prioritize preventative maintenance because A, that's government work, and in most people's minds, government work equates to lazy, bloated budgets that always never get met and takes forever to get done. Okay? And B, that leaves out private companies from being able to profit off of whatever preventative maintenance might need to be done. So no company is ever going to just do something like repair a bridge. No company is just going to start making dams or massive water walls along our coast just because they feel like it, because they think that at some point in their time as a company, they're going to make money. No. This is the major flaw in capitalism, is that when times of desperation come around and the nation is in a standstill in terms of economic growth, things tend to take a turn for the worse. If you take a look at the Great Depression of 1930s, you'll see that to get us out, to just simply keep the American people on some kind of a standard of living, there were massive programs for social programs, for relief, for food to be brought in to people that don't have the money or means to be able to get food. That was a huge undertaking, and it was done at a very big expense, but I think we can see that in the long run, it helped out this country a lot more than it hurt at the very beginning. So I think we're going to need another massive Great Works program in order to actually get this country back up to some kind of a standard, get people trained and get people jobs in order to get money, in order to feed their families. It's going to be a huge undertaking. It's going to be incredibly uncomfortable for this country to go through. But I can already tell you right now that the evictions coming up at the end of July, because June is just now coming to an end, come July, that eviction program where it said no more evictions, don't worry, even though companies were already evicting people, that is going to give us another wave of crises, of homelessness, of another wave of unemployment, and not to mention, and I don't care much for them, but unfortunately our government tends to. Our banks are not going to be getting all of that money back for the loans they gave out for commercial real estate and for the mortgages that are now being defaulted upon. So, I just wanted to update everybody. Again, it's been a while. I'm hoping to get back into this a little bit more often. But yeah, hope you're doing well. Much love, everybody. Bye.